Hello and welcome to part 3 of Navigating Modern Go. If you haven't seen the part 1 and part 2, you should see a little pop-up box somewhere in either corner. Okay, so continuing on, if we go left of the search icon, you will see a pencil icon. This is essentially your annotations feature, so you have multiple options that are available to you. If we press and hold on the icon itself, you can see that there's a little arrow just in the bottom corner, and that essentially means that if you press and hold, you have a few more icons that are available to you. So as you can see, there's the highlight feature, which is just like a standard highlighting pen. You can also underline and use squiggles as well as strike through words. Okay, so if we just, for instance, highlight a section, okay, you can see that's yellow. You can also change the color of that. So we change it to, say, we'll change it back to yellow. Okay. You can also get rid of it simply just by pressing the bin icon. Okay. The next one down from that is the text box function. So you can, once again, if you press and hold, you have a few more options. So you can add a standard text box. You can also use a call out. I'm not 100% sure what that is, so I will double check that. And you can also use a signature feature. So I assume what you can do is essentially I'm using a mouse right now, but if you say had used your finger or even say an Apple Pencil, you could almost write your signature and then it would simply kind of drop it. You could then drag and drop that image anywhere on the page, really. So it's quite useful. Okay, if we just add a text box and we just say, for instance, write text box. Okay. The next one down from that, this is essentially a sticky notes feature. So what you can do is you can press and it almost, essentially works as almost like a sticky note. So you can make a note, say, I don't know, this is important because ... Now this is there, so obviously it's not going to affect your eyeline as such, but if you just want to click on it, you can then see it kind of reveals the text that you wrote. So this is quite good if you say you want to remind yourself, but you don't want it to kind of obstruct the actual vision of the document that you're reading. Okay. The next one down from that is the pen feature. So this, as you can see, you've got drawing, freeform highlight, and magic ink. Again, they're all useful. Drawing is fairly useful. So for instance, if I just say I wanted to draw, I don't know, say a little square or a rectangle even, that'll be there. You can also, if we deselect it, you can then click on this and drag it around. You can make it bigger if need be, or even smaller. However, as you can see, it's not very neat. So an even better option would be to, if you see the arrow just here, you can press and hold that and you have a few more options. So for instance, you can use circles, polygons, polylines, all sorts really, but if we just use the rectangle, as you can see, that's a much cleaner box. Once again, you can click on it and make it bigger. You can move it around, and it's a bit more, it just looks a lot nicer than using a freeform pen. Okay. The one down from that is a rubber feature. So this will essentially rub out any kind of, say, if we just draw a line there, the rubber feature will erase that line. So that's quite useful if you like to draw on the document. You can simply erase it just by doing that. Okay, the next one down from that is a image insertion. So you have a few more options once again. So you can insert, say, just an image. So if we collect, say, photo library, we now have an image that has been dropped in. It is white, so it might be slightly hard to see, but as you can see, it has just dropped in on the document. Once again, if a particular image reminds you of something, then this can be quite useful. You also have a few more options, so you can add like a stamp, saved annotations, you could link stuff. I think I've seen that's like a hyperlink, and you could probably add sounds. There's also a selection tool. Now this is really useful. Say if you made a lot of annotations and you simply just want to select them all, what you can do is you can drag and highlight all of them, and now what you'll find is that they'll actually all move together. So this is again quite useful. As you can see, the highlighted text won't move because that's it's not a placed annotation, if you were. Okay. And then finally, you also have a back and forwards icon. Simply, if you either made a mistake or you did something wrong, you can always just come back and it will take it back to the last nearest kind of clickable action. Okay, now if we look along the top, you can see a plus icon. This is good if, say, you have multiple documents available. As you can see, we only have the one available just now. So if we exit this document, okay, if we say click on this one, what you'll see is if we press the plus icon, we open related documents. We also have the minutes and agenda option. So if we select both of them, what you can see is we can now switch between the documents. Once again, if you're in a particular meeting and it has multiple options, you can open multiple of them. You don't have to, say, exit and then open up the next one. You can have them all open as long as they're in the same grouping. Okay, and finally, the last icon is the star icon. So this essentially means that if I was to close this document, and if I wanted to find that document as quick as I could, I can simply go into the starred section, and as you can see, it's just there. So once again, it's very useful if you want to find a particular document very quickly. You can simply star it, and you'll just be able to open it up just like that. Finally, there is a page selector on the bottom. Again, this is useful. However, it's optional, as you can scroll with your finger, as well as select the all page selection button. Okay, that is everything. Once again, I will post links to part 1 and part 2. They should appear in some corner of the video. If you have any more issues, please get in touch. Thank you. If you would like to receive more information about this video, or you have a topic that you would like us to discuss, please contact the Critical User team at criticaluser@gloucestershire.gov.uk.